Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Now the Romans, Paul, they in these black churches, they love to quote Paul and be all into Paul's writing, but he destroyed their doctrine. Now, when you look up Romans chapter 1, he broke it down in the best way, especially when you done been a part of these churches and know what they've been, how they operate. Like most of the so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans here in Babylon, the Great America, we know very well how these black churches or so-called black churches operate. But see, this is the problem with the church, because most of them, they following their pastor or preacher. My pastor this, my pastor that, and they ain't coming out their mouth with this verse or that verse. Saying my God this and my God that said this. No, my pastor said. That's what they gonna come and say. So this is what he was telling them in Romans, the first chapter, starting at verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature, the pastor, more than the creator? You see, these Negroes and Hispanics going to these churches, you see, listening to some wicked behind pastor that's lying and ain't using the Bible. He using his own words. And so for doing that, it's a punishment. Because when you go to Romans chapter 3 verse Romans chapter 3 verse 4, it say, God forbid, yeah, let God be true, but every man a liar. So let God be true, and we don't care if it's a pastor, it's a pope, or whoever, he is a liar when it comes to the truth. And so when you go in 2 Thessalonians, it talks about that these individuals had pleasure in unrighteousness and did not believe the truth. They didn't want to believe the truth. They had pleasure in unrighteousness. That's what the problem is. And even in 2 Corinthians, I think I had 2 Corinthians chapter 4. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 3, it say, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. You see, they ain't believing. They believing they so-called pastor who regurgitating some doctrine that his slave master told him. And he's serving the slave master like he God. And so that's the whole problem. Now, since they want to believe men, he already got something set up for them. Because when you look at in 2 Thessalonians, it says, and for this God shall send them strong delusions, that they should believe a lie. Because they didn't want to believe the truth, he sent them a strong delusion, and that strong delusion was the rulers of this system, the slave master. He was going to have all kind of stuff waiting on him. And so he saying, when you go back to Romans verse 1, he say, Romans chapter 1, Salakia. Romans chapter 1 verse 26, it say, for this cause God gave them up to vile affection. You see, now homosexuality is in play, because you want to believe a man in your slave who listening to your slave master. Verse 28 say, and even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge. You see, they didn't care about the Bible. Just let this man run his mouth and tell me what I can do and what I can't do. God gave them over to a reprobate mind. You see, because they was loving deceit. They like deceit. That goes along with that Isaiah 30. They like deceit. They like to hear lies. And pretty much they'll hate. It done turned them into a hater of God. He gave the reprobate mind pretty much is you love lies, you hate God, you could become proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, invent all kind of evil mess without understanding. You can't understand nothing. You can't keep a covenant, keep your word, and without natural affection, you just lose all your senses because you wants to believe a man that's telling you that God's laws is done away with and he love everybody. You see, and you can have idols all around. You can do all kind of wickedness. You see, and he don't deal with rules and regulations. You see, that's what they like. They like deceit. It sounds good to them, and so he give them up. And he had somebody already waiting on him. He had these so-called Edomites already waiting on him, and these wicked pastors already set up by the Edomites waiting on him, and they didn't want to hear the truth. They didn't want to believe the truth. They was having pleasure in unrighteousness. That's why they love to do everything that the society and the slave master say, and the wicked preacher that want their money. Just give us some money and God gonna bless you. You see, that's the mess that they want to live by. Chase riches, God gonna bless you. They boasting about, oh, I'm going to school, I'm gonna get me a good job, and I'm gonna have money. And you Negroes gonna be poor. You see, they want to brag and boast about what they gonna do, and God gonna bless them and all this kind of stuff. When they can't even understand simple stuff, simple operation. But just want to make that video real quick. All praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem and Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide, learning the truth, fighting for the faith. The kingdom is at hand. Shalom.